Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it turns out that there is some good Spider-Man news going on. One thing I found out is something about Andrew Garfield, and it came from a certain website. So it turns out that Andrew Garfield was petitioning on Spider-Man to go back to Marvel since the beginning, which does make sense. So he wasn't in talks to becoming Spider-Man of the Marvel Universe when they got the rights back. He actually said there is heavy places that was going to happen in the later development of the Amazing Spider-Man franchise series. So there was going to be heavy things going down. And some webheads basically elaborated on his thoughts and everything else. Like, for instance, it was going to be written by Alex Kurtzman, and Andrew actually was brainstorming with him on what the story was going to happen next, or what story was going to appear. So one thing he brought up is the fact that Sinister Six would have been first, but the thing is that if Andrew Garfield wasn't in the movie, then he wouldn't actually mention the movie, which he didn't. Which basically means that Sinister Six could have actually have just been a movie without Spider-Man, which it makes sense why he didn't actually mention about Sinister Six. Well, anyways, he wouldn't know about the details of that. Basically, what had said is that the black suit could have came in, which I say it might have came. It might have, but that would be treading the same waters as what happened in Spider-Man 3. And do you think they actually would do that? Not really. They have yet still to actually introduce Mary Jane, which Mary Jane was in the original franchise from the beginning. So they wanted to be different, so that means that the black suit most likely would not actually have appeared, because they were afraid that it would look like the same way that the original franchise went. And he actually came up with the idea that Mysterio would have came up, and it would have been a good idea because he would tease him, especially with the holograms and the fact that you have Gwen Stacy that he could actually use against Spider-Man. Personally, for me, and I said this previously in another video, it's just the idea of Harry Osborn talking crap to Spider-Man, saying, hey, looks like you can save everyone except the one you love. You see that burn? You see how horrible it would have made Spider-Man feel? You see that he would actually had a major beatdown on Harry? That would have been awesome to see. That was one thing I was like, man, if they do that, that would have been just all. But anyways, when it came to the Sony hack, he doesn't really want to talk about it because it was a very tender subject. And it was just a tender subject, period, about what just happened and stuff like that. Anyways, maybe in other news, maybe the new franchise actually has a name now called The Spectacular Spider-Man. Maybe. I'm not sure if it's official, but stay tuned to find out. Tom Holland is a decent cast. Actually, I think it was the director, actually said that Tom Holland is a decent casting for him. He actually likes him, and he can actually do a handstand. And last but not least, you have Marissa Tomei, who actually did some filming in Civil War, which we already know that she was actually would be in Civil War. So Aunt May, so the whole idea of him actually having his house, yeah, they're filming for Peter in their house. That makes sense because, yeah, now you have the lifestyle of Peter and Aunt May. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad they have that in here. But of course, one thing I do want to actually mention is just the crazy part of no one, not Seven Webheads, not X-Men, actually mentioned the fact of what if Oscorp building was in the Avengers. Because if you notice, in 2012, they tried their best to get Sony to actually put the building, and they would have done it. But the thing is that the building of Oscorp wasn't actually done. They weren't done with the designs. But think about it, if they were done with the designs, then that means that we will be stuck with that Oscorp building. But of course, they could easily just say that that Oscorp building got destroyed during the Chitauri invasion, which that's cool that they could have done it. But on the other hand, it's like, ooh, what if they still kept it in there? Then that means that, oh man, it's like a little messed up continuity, but they were able, the chances are, to shield it from people. if they did actually put the insert in. But still, on the other hand, it would still be horribly bitter because it's like, ooh, though, they had the building from Amazing Spider-Man in there. That's, ooh. Well, anyways, I'm going to whip out. But tell me what you guys think about that. Peace.